Hey everybody, this is TotalGamerJunkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the supposed Life is Strange 4 leaked story. Now, in case any of you haven't noticed this or haven't seen it on YouTube, apparently someone leaked the next game's script on Reddit. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure whether to believe this or not because, first of all, it was just put on there. It wasn't by any known leaker, so that's kind of a big flag for this. But then again, a lot of games have been leaked by lesser known people or on sites by anonymous people, and they have been true. So what I'm saying is, take this with a grain of salt. Now, in this video, I'm going to be discussing what I like, what I dislike, what should happen if it's true, and what I don't think should happen. So let's start at the beginning. So the Life is Strange 4 leaked post says, and I quote, "I have no real proof that this source is reliable, so just assume that there's a 99% chance that this is bullshit. But I heard from someone that's tested the game that Life is Strange 4 is coming and Max will once again be the main character. Apparently she's a professor at an art school and her powers have been upgraded so she can travel to alternate realities and use that to solve mysteries. It also follows the choices you made in the first game, and Chloe can make an appearance if you kept her alive. Story spoiler. The basis of the story is that she's investigating a murder of a friend/student of hers. She steps between realities and ends up finding her friend alive in an alternate timeline and uses that to solve the murder. There will apparently be other people with powers in the game as well. The first half of the game is supposed to be amazing, but not the second half. Hopefully they'll fix it before release though. As a Life is Strange fan, I think this could be awesome, but only time will tell if any of this ends up being real." So let's break this down piece by piece. Now, the first part about Max being a professor at an art school, I do buy that because it is one of the classes or courses you can take at art school. And when we last heard of Max in Life is Strange 2, if you chose to sacrifice Arcadia Bay, David will be on the phone with Chloe. And we learned that Max is trying to make a name for herself. She wants to get into photography and she's been going to galas, handing in her work, just trying to get a job. Or however it works. I'm not too familiar with photography and how you submit that, so you have to forgive my ignorance. But I can definitely see that happening, and it's also a little bit creepy if you think about it, because Jefferson himself is what was a photographer who later became a teacher. So I don't know, I like the idea of Max teaching and being a photographer because it's what she likes. But the difference here is that unlike Jefferson, Max's intentions would be pure, unlike his, which are just satanic. Because Max would obviously want to teach her students, but Jefferson would want to use his students as test subjects. Okay, next is Max having her powers upgraded so she can travel to alternate realities to solve mysteries. Now, this one, I don't know, because the comic did the same thing, but Max, she couldn't control. She was being torn between alternate realities, and in the end she had to settle for one. So, and then there was that bullshit where it's okay, yeah, we get prize field, for the first 4 issues, and then the rest of the comic, or most of the comic, is about Rachel and Chloe in an alternate timeline. So I guess maybe I don't like this idea because of the comic. It's kind of tainted my view, but looking away, I do think it would be cool to have Max jump between alternate realities. But there is one big problem, and I'm gonna get into this problem later in the video, but let's continue on. Now, Chloe can make an appearance if you kept her alive. Now, this, I think, is a very good thing, because, as you all know, the end of Life is Strange. We have to choose sacrifice Arcadia Bay or sacrifice Chloe. If Chloe is in this, then if you chose to sacrifice Arcadia Bay, then I think it would be really interesting to see from getting tongue-tied, sorry. I think it would be interesting to have Deck 9 do this scenario for the game where it's like, okay, if Chloe is with you, what can she do to help, versus, okay, if Chloe is not there to help you, then who's going to be her substitute, or like, will you just have to do things on your own? Because I don't know if any of you have played Mass Effect, but in Mass Effect 2, your squad mates, some of your squad mates who die are replaced by other squad mates. Well, not squad mates, like, for example, Morden dies, he's replaced by another Solarian. If Rex is killed on Vermite, he's replaced by Reeve. If Jack dies, one of her students takes her place. If Grunt's killed, it's replaced by another Krogan. Like, so I think it would be interesting if Deck 9 was to do this. It'd make for great replay value, for one. But this also comes with a bit of a downside. So here's what I want. Okay, most people, well, not most people, sorry, some people say when you play Life is Strange, like, because I even got some friends who play and they say they liked the story but they didn't like the ending because it felt like your choice didn't matter. And I explained to my friends that the thing is, the choice does matter, but it's not meant to matter to you, it's meant to matter to Max. And the reason is because Max has the ability to rewind time, but what she can't undo is her experience. She can undo choices, sure, but everything she does, the choices she makes are going to stick with her. So if this alternate timeline happens, okay, I don't want to see Chloe alive in an alternate timeline if you sacrificed her, because Max, I feel like Max has to live with that. She made that choice to sacrifice Chloe. I don't want her to go to an alternate reality to find a substitute Chloe. The Chloe that died in her timeline is her Chloe, and it just feels like it's like I don't know if any of you seen Terminator Dark Fate. That they kill off John Connor and it just completely makes the second movie look like shit. And honestly, I don't see why they don't go back, like, to the beginning, like, because there's a chicken and egg scenario about the timeline, because how can John Connor send his father back in time if he wasn't born? I have a theory for that, but we're here about Life is Strange. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. I don't know, kind of pollutes the choice, like waters it down, if you will. Now, for the game's plot, a murder mystery. Yes, this is what I want, because one of Life is Strange's strengths was this mystery. Where is Rachel Amber? What happened to her? And as the episodes progressed, we are going down this rabbit hole. We are learning what happened to her. Now, sadly, Life is Strange True Colors. I think, while not as good, I do think they did a good job with the mystery, like what happened to Gabe, why was he killed, like. But the payoff sadly was not as good as Life is Strange. But I do enjoy a good mystery, and hopefully this mystery, if this is real, will be just as good, because I think that this would also be interesting for Max's character, because it says in the description that it's a friend/student. Notice how friend is put before student, and it's not uncommon, like teachers and students can become friends, because I, for example, I keep in touch, like, from time to time with one of my teachers from my high school. Just to say hi, like, it's like, oh, happy birthday, Merry Christmas, that type of thing. But yeah, it's not uncommon for a student and teacher to become friends. But this but this here where it's saying friend student, I think this death, like, it'd be very interesting, like, I think it'd be more interesting if it's from the Sacrifice Chloe ending. Because if we're playing off that, now Max has lost another friend like Chloe. And this could be interesting here, where she's stepping between realities and trying to solve the murder. And that's another interesting thing. It says solve the murder. Okay, so Max isn't trying to rewind time. She's just going between alternate realities and trying to solve the murder in her timeline, which I think is pretty good, because Max learned, regardless of what ending you chose, Max learned a valuable lesson. Don't fuck with time. Okay, she's not the Time Lord. Okay, because by screwing with time, time's gonna screw her right back. And this is good, okay, because that way it gives us an excuse to use her power to manipulate time. But it also gives us an excuse, okay, no, she's not altering the past, there's no butterfly effect. So this is good. And also, I really hope they bring back the power to freeze time. This only appeared once in the game, in episode 2, when Kate goes to jump off the building. Max tries rewinding time, but her head is killing her, and then she manages to freeze it, because that is not rewinding time. You have stopped time, and that would be very good for parts in the game. Okay, let's just say you have to, for example, break into a hospital, and like Max is trying to figure out how her friend died. So what she does is, there are certain segments where you can freeze time for a short amount of time. Like how Max can rewind up to a certain point, you can freeze time up to a certain point, and this lets you sneak past guards, and then you have to hide somewhere, then time unfreezes, you have to wait till the freeze time meter builds, freeze time, then go. Because there are a lot of things you could do with time. Because when you think of time, most people think about rewinding, but people don't seem to think that time doesn't just go backwards, it can go forwards. Okay, what if, for example, a door, you got a metal door that's locked. What if Max touches it and she can use her power to fast forward just the metal door, and fast forward it to the point where it becomes corroded and rusted, and she can just grab something and break that door down. I think that'd be pretty interesting, but I don't think they're going to do that. Now, I do not like this next part. There will apparently be other people with powers in the game. No. With the exception of Rachel Amber in Before the Storm, because, okay, that was bullshit. Come on, she had the power of flame, so, like, and the way they set that up, it's like she caused the fire to start, and then episode 2, where Chloe and her dad are arguing, you see Rachel staring at the flame, and you think, she's gonna do something with the flame, and it's not just me, other YouTubers thought this as well. Okay, so you go check those out. You go look up Before the Storm, episode 2. You skip towards the end, and when Rachel's looking at the flame, and something's happened. And they'll be like, yeah, something's gonna happen here. She's gonna cause a fire. But no, Life is Strange should just be one person with powers. Because I think that's what makes the game unique. It's what makes you the main protagonist, your powers. So the next part is, the first half of the game is supposed to be amazing, but not the second half. Alright, now hopefully they'll fix it before release. Now, if this is true, the second half's not good, then like they can't really fix it, you know what I mean? Like, if you've developed a game, it's like Mass Effect 3, for example. where everyone argued about that ending. Yeah, I was one of those people. It was like, what? That's it? Pardon me. But then they released the extended cut, and the extended cut added a few things, but it extended on your choice of ending, which was good, but it was still the same. So I don't know if they'll just go back and change the second half. You know how much time and money that costs, not just to redo everything, but to pay the actors to redo the same lines. Because I don't. I'm legitimately asking because I don't know about that. But yeah, like, and to be honest, like, for me, and I've said this before with Life is Strange 2, that most of that game, I wasn't really, I enjoyed it, but like, for me, it's my least favorite in the series because you're moving so much, you're not forming attachments with people. I know it's meant to be about Sean and Daniel's journey, but it was just hard because sometimes I didn't like Daniel at certain points in the game, you know. But the thing that it got right was its endings, because that's one of the strengths Life is Strange 2 has over Life is Strange 1. With Life is Strange 2, whether or not Max and Sean, whether or not Daniel and Sean, or just Sean or Daniel cross the border, we get an ending that jumps a few years later into the future, and we learn what happens to one or both of them. The problem with Life is Strange 1 is that ending, if you sacrifice Chloe, it just shows Max at a funeral. If you sacrifice Arcadia Bay, it shows Chloe and Max leaving Arcadia Bay, but we don't find out what happens after. So I think that the ending, where we get a time skip, that's one of Life is Strange 2's strengths. And speaking of numbers, let's go to this title, Life is Strange 4. Now, Deck 9 has made it clear that they are not numbering titles if they're not sequels. So that's why Life is Strange 3 is Life is Strange True Colors. So if they were to make, so if this next Life is Strange is a sequel, then it's going to be confusing if they're going to call it Life is Strange 2. Unless they put Life is Strange 2, and then they put a title underneath, or they put Life is Strange, and the title, like how it's like Life is Strange 3 is Life is Strange True Colors, they have the title be like 2 something, you know? Well, what else can I discuss? I think that might be it. I've really got nothing else to talk about. If I do, I'll make another video. So anyways, that's the end of this video. Surprisingly a long one. Shit, almost 20 minutes. Did not expect that. But please let me know your thoughts and comments below. If there's anything you think I missed or would like to talk about, please let me know. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. This is TotalGamerJunkie, signing off.